What if Lumberjack Man wasn't the hero, but the villain all along? This recap is about to start a war in the comments. The story begins with a group of teenagers on a bus heading to a church camp. They are accompanied by Doug, the camp director. Meanwhile, Dr. Peter enters a general store just as the bus drives past. He takes a picture of the bus and shows it to the store owner, asking where it's going. The store owner tells him that all schools are currently closed, so it's likely headed to the church camp. Dr. Peter's expression changes, and he looks visibly disturbed at the camp. The teenagers are welcomed by Doug's assistant, Teresa, and the camp cook. The teens had come to participate in Lent, a Christian religious event lasting 40 days, set to begin the next day. Doug assigns tasks by dividing the group into pairs. After dropping them off, the bus driver leaves, but later picks up two girls on the way. He stops the bus in a remote area. Suddenly, a terrifying figure known as Lumberjack Man appears with large pancakes and weapons. He boards the bus and brutally decapitates the girls. Before the driver can react, he's killed too, his head impaled and hung from the bus. The lumberjack uses the victim's blood as syrup for his pancakes. Back at the camp, Faith and her friend Jacqueline sense someone watching them. Upon checking, Faith realizes it's one of the boys who had been stalking her. She scares him off. Elsewhere, two boys are tasked with cleaning the stables. They dislike the work, but can't leave, as Doug has assigned a guard to monitor them. They trick the guard into smoking and get him high. Disguised as mannequins, they escape while the guard is too dazed to notice that Lumberjack Man then arrives. Mistaking the high guard for a girl, he approaches him, sniffs his hair, and becomes enraged. He lifts the man with one hand and decapitates him with the other. Meanwhile, Dr. Peter seeks help from Officer Lujan, warning that death is stalking the area and that it must be evacuated. Lujan dismisses him, thinking he's mentally unstable. Peter explains that a deadly event occurs here every 30 years, but Lujan still doesn't believe him and has him thrown out. With no help from the authorities, Dr. Peter heads to the camp. The boy who had been stalking Faith begins spying on other girls. Just then, Lumberjack Man cuts down a tree that falls directly on him, killing him. His blood, too, ends up on the pancakes. The girls remain unaware. The two boys who had escaped the stable return and approach the girls, but Faith spots them and walks off toward the dining hall. One boy follows her, while the other heads toward the girls. Meanwhile, Lumberjack Man kills another boy, Daniel's boyfriend, and throws his mutilated body in front of her. Horrified, Daniel tries to escape but is caught. Lumberjack Man violently breaks her limbs and flattens her into a table, placing his pancakes on her body and eating. Unsatisfied, he throws her into a tree, killing her. Back at the office, Lujan becomes uneasy after reflecting on Dr. Peter's words and newspaper articles. She sends her deputy to the police and hears strange noises outside. Armed with a gun, she goes to investigate but finds nothing until she turns around and sees Lumberjack Man. She fires several rounds, causing him to collapse. Thinking he's dead, she shoots him a few more times and heads inside to call the police. But Lumberjack Man gets up again, throws an axe that hits her in the back, and attacks. She fights back by throwing things at him, which don't work, until she pours syrup on him. His skin burns, and he flees. Lumberjack Man storms into the camp, causing panic. Everyone tries to run, but he catches a boy and brutally kills him. Two girls flee into the forest. One girl gets caught in a trap and is left hanging from a tree. The other runs away, leaving her behind. Lumberjack Man arrives and kills the hanging girl with an axe, using her blood for his pancakes. We see that the number of pancakes is decreasing, suggesting he's consuming them with blood instead of syrup. He sets off to find the other girl, catches her, and smashes her with a giant pancake, killing her too. Meanwhile, Dr. Peter arrives at the camp and warns everyone to leave immediately. He tells them their lives are in danger, but no one believes him. To convince them, he tells a story. Decades ago, a company owner went hunting and followed a delicious smell into a house. There, Lumberjack Man was making pancakes for his family. He offered the hunter some, and they were the best pancakes he'd ever had. Obsessed, the hunter killed Lumberjack Man for his secret recipe, using syrup to drown him, and stole the recipe. He became rich selling the pancakes. But 30 years later, Lumberjack Man rose from his grave, killing anyone in his path. Doctor Peter reveals that Lumberjack Man had attacked him as a child, but he managed to escape. Still, no one believes the story and they kick him out. As he drives away, he finds a severely wounded Luhan on the road. She can barely speak, but keeps repeating one word: syrup. Peter realizes syrup is Lumberjack Man's weakness. He puts her in the car and rushes away. Elsewhere, a police officer finds giant pancakes and begins eating them, delighted, until Lumberjack Man arrives and kills him, using his blood as syrup. At camp, others are also eating pancakes, unaware of the truth. Doug picks one up and realizes it's not a pancake, but a human face. Everyone panics just as Lumberjack Man appears. Now, they begin to believe Dr. Peter's warning that as chaos erupts, Lumberjack Man throws an axe into a camper's forehead, killing him instantly. The others try to flee, but he relentlessly hunts and kills them one by one. Some survivors lock themselves in the kitchen, refusing to open the door for anyone else. Those left outside are killed. Lumberjack Man begins breaking down the kitchen door. Some try to escape through the back, while two chefs hide in a shed, arming themselves. Suddenly, Dr. Peter arrives and tells them they can kill Lumberjack Man using syrup. Though skeptical, they prepare for a plan. Doug tries to flee, but is caught and murdered. Meanwhile, Peter and the others worry that if Lumberjack Man finishes all his pancakes, he'll become unstoppable. He already seems more powerful. Faith grabs a cutter to attack him. A chef follows her to a nearby cabin, but Lumberjack Man bursts out and attacks. The cutter doesn't start, so Lumberjack Man tosses it aside and kills the chef and a deputy who tries to help. He even chops off two of Faith's fingers. Doctor Peter returns and shoots Lumberjack Man, knocking him down. Thinking he's dead, the group tries to leave, but he rises again. Peter attempts to use the syrup, but can't open the packet. Faith grabs a gun to shoot him, but is thrown into a cabin, where she finds a drum of syrup. As Lumberjack Man approaches, Faith reveals she is the granddaughter of his killer. Enraged, he moves to attack her. She grabs him with her syrup-covered hands and holds on until he dies. Dr. Peter, Faith, and the surviving chef escape as the cabin explodes, finally killing Lumberjack Man. They take Luhan with them and drive away, ending the horrifying ordeal. Got a better theory? Drop it in the comments. The best take gets a shout out in our next video. Thanks for watching.